welcome to another Sunday evening discussion roundtable show. I'm your host, Buckeye Boggs, aka the Podfather, and you are you, and we're thankful you decided to join us this evening, everybody. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, like the video. Of course, we got an active chat tonight. Good to have all of you with us tonight this evening. And if you're watching this after the fact, please go ahead and make a comment down in the comment section below. Let us know how right we are tonight or wrong. That's fine as well. We are the official Ohio State podcast of Fansided and Scarlet and Game. If you do not like the way my face looks, I don't blame you. I have to wake up every day and look at it in the mirror, man, and I'm disgusted. So, hey, but you can listen to us over at Fansided, ScarletandGame.com, or wherever you download your podcast. We are also the official Ohio State podcast of The College Huddle. Go over to thecollegehuddle.com. We have 86 podcasts from coast to coast covering their favorite teams just like we do for the Buckeyes here at the OHIO podcast. And as well, guys, don't forget, we've got a Patreon channel now. It is hopping. The community's on fire. We had more people sign up today. And if you are a paying member, only $5 a month, you know the latest news. That's right. There are a couple Buckeyes who are rumored to be getting redshirted this season to save a year of eligibility after yesterday's game. Couple big names. You know who those people are if you're a member of Patreon, because our insider, that's right, that's what we're calling him, Buck Vader, dropping knowledge on everybody's doorsteps over in the message boards. And by the way, there's going to be videos this week that are going to be for members only on the over at Patreon. So go over to our Patreon website, sign up today. There is a free membership if you would like, but we highly recommend at least the $5. And if you have the money to spend and you really enjoy the content and you want to bless us, by all means, please do so with the $20 membership. There will be a little extra for that as well, given out to you, some behind the scenes content, some gifts. Every month we'll be doing drawings for the $20 members. Shout out to Tyler. He is a $20 member. He's in the chat tonight. Lee, Nick, Andre, good to have you with us. Sean, RDCB, he's a $20 member. Buck Vader's with us this evening as well. Good to have all of you with us this evening and everybody else who will be jumping in tonight. We have with us this evening from the home team, to my left, your right on the screen, that is the Wild Man, Chris Wilds. Diagonally from me, above the Wild Man, that is Dr. Cory. And guys, it's been a while, but guess what? In the know, JR is back with us. He's the special guest tonight. Welcome back, JR.
I'm glad to be back. So glad to be talking Buckeyes once again. I've been talking too much Big Ten, guys. I talked some Buckeyes over there, but man, we got to get down and dirty with these Buckeyes because they're the best team in the nation right now.
Absolutely. What's the matter, Chris? What are you shaking your head for?
JR is disappointing me.
Why?
Come on. He's not wearing his trademark robe. What's up with that?
Hey, I heard a little rumor that robe got taken over by someone else in that house.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's a pretty comfy robe. It is a pretty comfy robe. I will say that.
Chris, do you have any of those available by chance?
I might be able to come up with a couple.
I see one right behind your shoulder, it looks like. Is that a blanket or a robe?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a snuggie.
It's a snuggie. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the jokes that we had about that Silk Touch robe all them shows ago, man. Yes, indeed. Doing well, Lee. Thanks for asking, buddy. Thanks for asking. All right, guys, let's dive into it. Before we turn the page and we talk about the week that's going to be with Illinois, let's go back and review. I mean, look, we all nailed it, dude. Every single one of us said, dude, I'm pretty sure we're going to go ahead and that 23.5 point spread, just, hammer the over. And we all were right on the money, man. It was definitely over. In fact, Chris, you were only 1 point off on your prediction. You predicted 41-3.
41-3.
And it was 42-3. So well done on that, buddy. Shout out to you for that one. Let's go around and let's just give our initial thoughts of yesterday's game. And if you want to expound upon that, upon the season and the team, feel free to do so. JR, you're our guest this evening. We'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say other than just so impressive? This team looks like the best team in the nation. I know some people are going to say, "Oh, they haven't beaten anybody" or whatever. That's one of the stupidest things you can possibly say. You've played the schedule that's in front of you. You've destroyed pretty much every single team. Texas was the only game where you didn't just like blow them out, but you literally had a freshman or a redshirt freshman quarterback starting his very first game against one of the best defenses in the nation. I know they just had a hard time against Florida, but that still is a defense with so many returning players and everything else that you weren't going to go out there and just completely open it up. This defense is dominant. I remember when the Matt Patricia hire happened, I said, "Look, guys, I'm not going to say it's a bad hire, but I'm also not going to say it's a good hire. Let's just see what happens. Let's just figure out what happens." And holy cow, Matt Patricia has looked like the best defensive coordinator in the nation. What is most impressive to me is the athleticism with everybody on this defense. Matt Patricia's doing a lot of crazy things right now, but you would not be able to do these things without two things. One, players who are smart and are able to pick it up, and two, guys that are athletic enough to make things happen. I had somebody in the our comments the other day ask me, they're like, if Matt Patricia's so great, why doesn't everybody just run this kind of stuff? Why don't they just watch him on film and run what he's running? Because they can't, because nobody else has the athletes, nobody else has the players that are as smart as what Ohio State has. And boy, Ryan Day, he's never satisfied. He said it once, twice, 3 different times, 4 times. I don't know how many times at this point. He's never satisfied. He's out there complaining that Bo Jackson reached for first down on like second down or something like that. I love this new version of Ryan Day, and I think the Buckeyes, if they keep it up, they're going to be on their way to back-to-back natties.
Dr. Cory.
Also, I'll add on to what JR is saying about Matt Patricia. If you listen to PJ Fleck, I don't think many people can have run what he runs, not even just because the athletes, just because they say just run something different dang near every series. PJ said they would have it, basically sum up, he said they would have it. They think they had him in the base, and all of a sudden it switches up. And that does come with what JR is saying, is the having the athletes, so he can have, we talked about it last week, like 6-7 different robbers at any given time. I mean, it's just kind of crazy what he could do on that defense, which making me hope that, like, Matt, will you please stay? You're always going to have more athletes than everybody else here. But getting to the game, I mean, they handled business, obviously. Even when they were down 3-0 and that first drive kind of stalled, they missed a field goal. Eric and I were calling the game. It never felt in question like it was going to be a competitive game. It just felt like, no, we're a lot better than this team, obviously. San operated the offense. He was, again, with poise and precision. Hartline's play calling, I think, continues to evolve and get better. His growth is showing. The offense is, opening up more each week. And Patricia, as we talked about, he started in that base defense, gave the field goal early. And then once they showed their hand on that first script drive, Patricia said, "Oh, that's what you're doing. Okay, gotcha." And that was it. Suffocated them from there on out. So it was a boring game in all the right ways.
Wild man. You're muted, wild man.
If last night's game did not get your blood pumping, you need to check your pulse. Okay? Honestly, I mean, this team just rolled a 3-1 Minnesota team that came in with the third best defense in the conference, second best rush defense in the conference, and they surgically picked them apart on offense. Julian saying 85.2% completion percentage. That's insane. Goes for 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, off the chain. And just when it looks like we're just picking them apart and having fun with them, all of a sudden we decide to start running the ball. Even Peoples gets out there and starts knocking them off at like 7 yards a clip. Balanced, explosive, just poised offense. Great there. Defense held them to 3 again, and we called it. Only gave up 162 total yards. The Buckeyes owned the line of scrimmage on both sides. They really did. And honestly, I don't see a team on their schedule that is going to even pressure them the rest of the year. That's where I'm at.
we talked about this yesterday, Cory. I went back and watched it and I did some math. Minnesota's total offense yesterday, 41% of their total offense came on their first drive.
Mm-hmm.
And then another 20% came at the end of the game. Over 60% of their offense yesterday happened on 2 drives. The first one and like literally the last one, pretty much.
And the last one was against the second and third team guys, Eric.
Correct. And who didn't let them score, which was great.
Right.
So you look at the idea that this defense is somehow better than the one we had last year, coupled with the fact that Julian Sane is improving every single time he's on the field. With those weapons on the outside, and Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tater, and now we have a tight end who all of a sudden is being moved into this offense yesterday. We saw, Cory pointed out, like, I'm so glad Max Clare is becoming an emphasis on the offense. And, oh, yeah, by the way, the best freshman running back we've had, in my opinion, I know this is my opinion, someone's going to disagree with me, since Maurice Clarett.
I disagree with you.
Well, there's an argument to be made that Dobbins, there's an argument to be made about Dobbins, I think. And you could make the argument, but you'll be wrong in Travian Henderson, in my opinion. I think that this team is now all of a sudden, and I've been hesitant to say this, this is a back-to-back team, possibly. And I'm starting to get excited about it because I just didn't want to put that kind of pressure on them. But the way they look at it, guys, this team doesn't look at what's happening and says, oh my gosh, we have so much pressure, could go back to back. I love the attitude with this team. We ain't won anything yet. We haven't won anything. And JR, you brought it up. I think we're going to talk about it probably after you leave, unfortunately. But this argument that people are made that we haven't played anybody yet is total trash. I think we might need to dive into that tonight. I thank you for bringing that up. All right, guys. You all know the drill by now. It's time to hand out some Buckeye leaves. No, before we do that, let's give a letter grade. Let's do it the right way. Let's go ahead and give a letter grade first tonight. So let's start with the offense first. 341 passing yards, 133 rushing yards, 474 yards of total offense yesterday. Good for 8.2 yards per play, 21 first downs. They were 7 of 10 on third down. They possessed the ball for 31 minutes and 52 seconds, and they didn't have a turnover. JR, your letter grade for Ohio State's offense yesterday.
I mean, I don't know how you go anything else but an A. I mean, I won't go an A plus because you had a couple punts there in that middle 8 time that Ryan Day likes to talk about. So maybe we don't go with an A plus because of that. But overall, I mean, this team, they were scoring at will, 6 touchdowns in this game. You had the missed field goal. That's probably going to get more on special teams than it would offense. I don't understand why Jackson Corville is not out there trying these 50-plus yarders. The dude was making them before he got to Ohio State. Why don't you just have Jaden Fielding be the one that's kind of like your accuracy, 20, 30, 40 yards away type of guy, and then give the big long kicks to Corville, right? Let him be the guy. Let him just practice that. That's all he is. But for whatever reason, they're not doing that. I don't get it. But offensively, this team, fantastic on offense. Like I said, a couple punts they're in the middle of it all, but 3 straight touchdowns after the first drive, 3 more touchdowns after the halftime there. This is an unbelievable performance. Carnell Tate was fantastic. Jeremiah Smith, and just like I thought, Max Clare getting in there with a little bit of the work too. When you have the 2 best wide receivers in all of college football, and you have one of, if not the best pass catching tight end in all of college football on your team, it's easy to see why redshirt freshman Julian Sane looks like a Heisman frontrunner right now.
Cory.
I gave it an A minus. Stall on the first drive, missed field goal, but I actually liked that they tried it. You got to see. I mean, I know Fielding doesn't make him often from there or nothing. He's like 12 of 18, but above 40 yards. But I just think if you have the opportunity to game that's not really going to be in question, go ahead and shoot it and try it. He has the leg, he just doesn't have the accuracy. I agree with JR. Try the other guy. I don't understand either what's going on. I'm not seeing practice, but I don't understand. Maybe Fielding could be the kickoff guy. I don't know. Look, Julian's saying PFF, those guys just went off on him in a good way. They just said, yeah, I don't think enough people are talking about him. He's unstoppable right now. He's so freaking accurate. I mean, I never thought we'd see anything close to CJ, and now I'm like, this guy's probably better than CJ accurate wise. And then of course he destroyed the college football nerds with this deep. He saw that tweet and just fine. I'm going to dump some off right perfectly in stride with Carnell Tate, and we're going to have fun with this one. It's just Carnell Tate's on a different level than he's ever been in college football. Jeremiah Smith's the alien. Claire being infused into the passing game now. Bo Jackson taking over RB1. And I'll tell you one thing. I wonder if Peoples at the end of that game was like, I want to get my backup spot back. I'm wondering if he wants to find him. He knows he can't take it from Bo, but he's saying maybe I can take it from CJ. Because he hasn't run like that all year after getting chewed out by Carlos Lachlan about going the wrong way on that play. So offensive line doesn't get enough love. I mean, that left side of the line is elite with Carson outward to Luke Montgomery to Austin. It's the reason why they run 12 personnel to that side on power. Just absolutely elite. So not very many weak points. I mean, Philip Daniels is scaring me a little bit on the pass blocking, but other than that, not very many weak points. And Brian Hartline is coming along. People who complained about his play calling, give him time to grow, for crying out loud. Yeah. And so he's succeeded every time we've given him a task. Let him grow. So if there's anybody you can have faith in, it's Brian Hartline. So I think he's absolutely the game plan to develop Julian Sand along the season has worked perfectly. And we'll go into the defense next. We can thank Matt Patricia for that as well.
Yeah, you pointed out the offensive line. Austin Severveld yesterday went up against a first-round draft pick in Smith. They're saying, was he first team All Big Ten preseason, JR, the D end at Minnesota, Smith?
I believe he was All Big Ten. I don't think he was first team though.
Okay,
I thought it was second, but I could be wrong.
He was. So apparently, according to who I talked to today, there were 6 NFL scouts there to watch that game yesterday. And one of the reasons was for Smith, and Austin Severveld just ate his lunch, dude. Ate his lunch. Austin's becoming a first-round draft pick, guys, right before our eyes. Unbelievable. Chris, your offensive letter grade.
I had to go A. I couldn't go A+. Unlike what the other two guys were saying, I did not like going for it or going for that field goal in that spot in the field. If you're going to do it, you definitely don't do it with Fielding, who's proven himself to be unreliable at that distance. And then the other thing, and I got to blame Ryan Day for this. We had that 4th and 1 call where he called a timeout, and Julian actually got the first down, calls the timeout, goes to Lincoln. We all know what's going to happen at that point, and it gets stopped.
Did you read Ryan Day's lips?
I did not.
Why did we
run sideways?
Go sideways. So
as Eric and I were calling the game, we looked at the replay. He had 3 gaps he could have gone forward.
Yeah.
What in the world was he doing?
But that's a good point, Chris. Continue.
Yeah, that's the only reason for me I can't go A+. I look at those as errors of coaching, not so much of the performance of the guys, though. I mean, you do have to play a little bit of it on Fielding for missing the kick, but overall, I don't think he should have been put in that position to begin with, given his inconsistency at that range.
Yep. Real quick, everybody, 57 in here watching. We appreciate each and every single one of you. Please hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Let's try to get that number even higher this evening. Let's go over to the defensive letter grade now. They allowed 94 passing yards, only 68 rushing yards for a total of 162 to a team who was coming in averaging 400 and was it 40 or 50, Chris?
455, something like that. 450.
It was up there. That's good for 3.2 yards per play. They gave up 11 first downs. Listen to this stat. 1 of 11 on third downs. Is that 2 weeks in a row?
Mm-hmm.
They are 2 for the last 22 on third down getting off the field. Guys, I'm here to tell you right now that's because of what they're doing on first and second down is what that is. 100%. And then Minnesota was 0 for 1 on fourth down. They possessed the ball for 28 minutes and 8 seconds. No turnovers again this week, but when you're getting off the field like that, man, it's hard to produce turnovers. Your defensive letter grade, JR.
I mean, just to hit on the third downs that you were talking about right there, do you guys know what the average third and distance was for Minnesota in this game?
6 or 7.
9.
Oh, jeez.
They were averaging 3rd and 9 every single time on third down
That's
this
terrible.
game. Look, you look at the stats here for some of the individual players, right? You're only going to see 1 sack, only 7 tackles for loss. I say only 7. Some teams would kill for that number, but for Ohio State and Matt Patricia, it's like, only 7. And so you're kind of looking at it, you're like, is this really an A plus? But then you look at stats like that where Minnesota just had nothing that they could do. That very first drive, they went down the field and they kind of showed some things. And Matt Patricia was like, all right, got it. This is what you're going to do. And I was surprised that Minnesota played Darius Taylor in this one. They eventually took him out. He was injured going into this game. And so they eventually took him out. I think wise choice by PJ Fleck to not, risk him to injury anymore in a game that they obviously weren't going to be able to win. But after that first drive, I mean, I want to say Minnesota probably got the majority of their yards on that first drive alone. They went 66 yards down the field. What's that? Quick math. That's like 66 out of 162.
It's 41%.
They got 41% of their yards for the entire game on that first drive. From there on out, didn't even get 60% of their yards. That's incredible. Fantastic defense. You're not going to get the gaga 5 sacks and stuff like that you got against Washington, but you got a great performance. I'm going to give it an A+.
Defense is just suffocating. Even when they're not putting up huge numbers, they're just closing in on people. They just suffocate you. They're 20% on the season on third down. That's ridiculous. And it's just getting better, which is even worse, which is even crazier. Elite is considered 25. That's what Georgia was around when they won their national championship. I can't say enough about what this defense is doing. I was so hesitant for so many weeks to say, I'm not going to say we upgraded, and then UCLA came along. I was like, okay, it's clearly we upgraded defensive coordinators. Not even a question at this point. Not a lot of flashy numbers, not getting a lot of turnovers, but man, the whole game plan seems to be box them in, limit their opportunities, and we're going to make the most of our opportunities on offense. I mean, how many? To switch back to offense just a second. Had another 91-yard drive yesterday. How many times have we done that this year? Long, sustained drives where we take away the opportunities when we're on defense. We suffocate them. So Matt Patricia's been a godsend. Please stay more than 1 year. That's all I can say. Please tell the NFL to shove it. They gave up on you. Remember, we gave you the second chance. Come on now. But I gave it an A for the grade only because that first series a little bit. It's like, okay, they went down the field. I know what we were doing. We're going base and we're trying to feel them out. I get it, but it wasn't a quote unquote perfect performance. They had another chance at another field goal and they missed it, but that was also off of a really bad penalty that kept their drive alive. That was just horrendous. So I'll give it an A, but man, my goodness, that defense is sick. And they've gotten. It's funny because after the first week against Texas, they were like 70 something in total defense throughout in the country. Now they're third, so in number one scoring defense, which is the most important stat, obviously.
You want to talk about a number, Cory? I got a number for you. 5. The number 5, and this applies to the entire Ohio State team. They are 5-0. They're averaging living up 5 points a game. Julian Sain is averaging only 5 incomplete passes a game, roughly 1.25 per quarter. The number 5 is so significant. Anyhow, defense, A+, hands down. There's no one even close. This team just flies around, just slaughtering people. That's what they do. I mean, we are seeing, we slowly saw it last year, the resurgence of the silver bullets. It's in full effect right now. There is no doubt This may be the best defense we've ever seen at Ohio State. It really may.
Ooh.
If they continue
I would
on this
argue it's the most
pace,
athletic defense we've ever seen at Ohio State.
if we continue at this pace, we may not be getting the huge numbers, but overall play, this may be the best defense at Ohio State.
Wow. All right. I would hesitant to get stay humble. Stay humble.
Humble's not my strong point, Eric.
I know it's not, buddy, especially when you hit the numbers you've been hitting lately in the lottery. Oh, did I let the cat out of the bag? My bad. Now everybody's gonna be texting you and calling you.
It wasn't that big.
I know. I just it's just
few $1,000s. That's all.
Okay. All right. Them scratch offs been good to Chris. All right, so let's go ahead and let's move to Buckeye leaves, everybody. Thank you for participating in that. Oh, this is going to be interesting because we can go so many different ways. JR, let's start with you. Your offensive player of the game, man.
Oh boy. So when I've been on here before, we've kind of done a thing where it's like, I want to give it to this guy, but then I think everybody's going to say this guy. I mean, at this point, I don't know if we're all going to be.
You're
able to
first.
say the
Go
same
with where you
person.
want to go, man.
Yeah,
I
you're
was
first,
going to say, I'm going to say Julian Sayin, but even then, I don't even feel bad because there's like 3 or 4 other guys you could give it to as well. I think Julian Sayin shut up the critics. They shut up the college football nerds this game. He hung in the pocket, took some hits in this one. That's honestly been one of my biggest concerns about Julian Sayin is what does he look like after he gets hit? Right? The offensive line keeps him clean, makes him, stay upright, and that's great. But at some point, he's going to get hit. What does he look like? Does the accuracy drop off? That accuracy was pinpoint this game. The PFF has a stat where it's like ball placement stat, and Julian Sayin is leading the nation in that ball placement stat as well. It's insane what he's doing right now. And to think he's just a red shirt freshman. Like you had seniors coming into this year that everybody thought were going to be fantastic. You had Drew Aller, you had Arch Manning, who I know is only a junior, but still, you had Arch Manning, you had Garrett Nussmeier, all these guys coming into the season. People are like, they're returning, they're going to be so much better. And they're not. I mean, we're starting to learn why guys return and that not everybody can be Ohio State and return a bunch of guys. Ohio State returned actual dudes that could have been playing in the league last year, but decided to come back to win it all. And then when those guys left, they replenished with even more dudes. Julian's saying he's like Jeremiah Smith, right? He's not going to be able to go to the league this year, and people are going to be drooling over him saying, I wish we could get him here because he's better than 99% of the other QB options that are going into the league this year. Julian Sayin is the player of the game for me, no doubt.
Well, I was going to say Julian Sayin, I really was, but I'm going to do the JR thing. I'm going to go different. No, I'm kidding. I'm just mad. I do want to go with Carnell Tate just to give him a Buckeye leaf because for his growth from freshman to now is unreal. I mean, freshman, he's kind of unsure of himself, made a play here and there. You could see the potential. The sophomore year, made some plays. He looked like he was going to be a budding star. Oregon tried to tamper and get him. And then he comes out this year, and I'm like, look, I know Jeremiah's an alien. I know he's WR1. But Tate is not exactly living in his shadow. Tate is making a name for himself, and if he's not the first receiver off the board next year's draft, NFL teams are overthinking and they're being stupid, which is not unusual. On that 44-yard touchdown, what he did to that, those corners were fighting for their lives. It's just it's been a while since I've seen corners just have to be put on an island with our guys and just fight for their lives. So Carnell Tate had an amazing game, got open frequently, and don't get me wrong, saying he's the next Buckeye legend, obviously at quarterback, but I mean, it helps when your guys are getting wide open like Tate was.
Yeah. You could go either way. But hey, Cory, just feeding off what you said, how would you have liked to have been Mike Gerald out there last night, the redshirt freshman, and your first job, your first start at corner, you got to try to take on and defend against the Buckeyes wide receiver room. That was just not fair.
Nope.
That was not right.
He's going to be dreaming of that guy. He's number 17 running by him in his
You mean nightmares? I mean night terrors.
Yeah. Um, you know what? I would like to go somebody different, and I don't think I can. I don't think I can. Although Austin's Sverveld would have been a good option as well.
Yes, it would have been.
You know, and you know what? I am going to go Austin Sverveld.
Attaboy.
He blocked a guy who's going to be an NFL first round pick, and Julian Sand did not get dirty until he started running. So you know what? He did a great job out there. Let's give it to the big ugly.
That's my boy. You made me proud tonight, Chris. Give it to the left tackle, the best left tackle in college football. Yep, I said it. I believe it. Your defensive player of the game, JR. This one's going to be even, I think, a little harder because it was so spread out.
Yeah, this one's going to be rather difficult because, like I said, you didn't really have like those big kind of stats that you normally get that really, separate one from the other. There were some tackles for loss in this game, but they were all pretty spread out. Sonny Peyton Pierce had one. Arvell Reese had one. His was a sack, so maybe you give that one a little bit more. But I mean, the leading tackler in this game was Sonny Styles. However, I'm gonna give it to another guy, and this is for this game, yes, but this is also just because of the way he's come back. When he came back last year, there were people that were saying, "Oh my gosh, not him! Like maybe we can move him into nickel. Can Devin Sanchez take over for him?" That's Davison Igbinosun. The type of physicality that he plays with on this team, the trigger that he has to be able to get after the ball carrier. This guy's a cornerback, and he's out here getting 5 tackles in this game. Normally, when a cornerback has 5 tackles, you're like, not a great day. Yeah, the tackle, the guy's catching the ball a lot. He's meeting them at the line of scrimmage. He is getting up there into the run fits and being able to take these guys down, not just wide receivers, running backs as well. And he's doing a great job with it. So for this game and a little bit of the previous games in the season and just kind of how he's responded, I'm going to give it to Davison Igbinosun.
He got away with a big one last night, guys.
Yeah, he did. He got away with a whole
when we
bunch.
were doing the game watch over on YouTube. Yeah, TG and I saw that. He had a hand on them that had a hold of that jersey good.
I love how when they get away with it, though, they're always like, "No, you didn't." Like, what?
You got to sell it, Eric. Got to sell it.
That's true. That's true. All right, your defensive player of the game. Who you got there, Cory?
Well, I'm going to also piggyback off the number 5 with Chris there. I hope it doesn't mean we go 0-5 with Michigan this year. Just to piss Chris off. Anyways, I'm kidding.
First of all, it'd be 0-2 because they cheated for the first 3.
Well, they didn't really get punished for it, so the cheating never happened. Just kidding. Anyway, I'm kidding. Sonny Styles for me because I've been kind of hard on him this year. This is kind of personal. I felt like he's underperformed a little bit. Not that he's been bad by any stretch, but I figured he'd be even bigger this year. And Arbell's kind of taken his thunder a little bit, and rightfully so. Arbell's been great, but Sonny was all over the field last night, and I saw him involved in so many tackles last night. And I just felt like, okay, Sonny's making it known today. He's playing really well, and he's all over the field. And he seems like he's moving with bad intentions, and he's moving without having to think too much. So he understands where exactly to be at the right time. So I thought Sonny had a good game.
Chris?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Sonny had a great game. You know what though? I am gonna go with Arvell Reese. He is just a dominant monster out there. He did get the one big sack, but overall he was just everywhere. Even if he wasn't getting tackles, he was involved. He was moving people, as far as people were avoiding him. He's become that kind of a game changer where you don't run the ball at him anymore. So I'm going to go with Arvell Reese.
This might be the first time that I can remember. Chris, maybe you can help me. We just got 6 different people with Buckeye leaves in our offense and defensive players of the game. Have we ever done that before?
Wait till we get to the plays of the game. I'm going off script again.
I don't ever remember getting 6 different Buckeyes getting Buckeye leaves for players of
I
the
don't
game.
think so.
Cool. Hey, there's a first for everything. All right.
You know what, though? That goes to the talent and depth of this team.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. All right, let's go to our offensive play of the game, JR.
Well, there's a lot to choose from, but I have to go with the one that I tagged college football nerds on, and they responded and said, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about. We were giving them credit in this one." Well, there were 9 other ones, 10 other ones, 11 other ones you should have given him credit for, but you weren't giving him credit for because you were finding nitpicky reasons to try and discredit Julian Sayin, which is just absolutely ridiculous. He's been on fire this season. He's been fantastic. And that play where he threw the ball over the middle as he was getting hit. I mean, I kid you not, the ball is coming out of his hand as he's getting hit into the midsection and put on the ground. That's the kind of throw that Buckeye fans, I believe, have wanted to see from Julian Sayin, right? We've heard about this guy. He plays like he's listening to Maroon 5. He's kind of cool and collected out there, but can he make the huge throws? Can he make it when the physicality is in his face? Yes, he can. Julian Sayin, that's the play of the game for me on offense.
Eric, we know something about Maroon 5, don't we?
Boy, did we get an education yesterday.
Oh, man. Anyways, I 100% agree with JR here. That is the play of the game, the Max Clare catch. And I think it's funny. Some people try to argue, no, he was really going to Brandon Ennis behind him. I'm like, stop it. It just landed perfectly in the breadbasket of Max Clare as he was breaking. I don't want to hear it. It's the luckiest break in the history of football, if that's how it worked out. Yeah, taking the shot, and JR is 100% correct. When that slow motion, when you see the slow motion, he just as he threw it, he got hit in the chest. And he knew it was coming. He was staring down the middle of the field. He knew that was going to come and hit him. And he just, okay, I'm going to take a hit. I need to deliver this ball. And it went 40 yards in the air, by the way, from the 30 to the 30. I'm sorry. That to me was the most impressive play Julian Sayin has made all season long. I mean, that was ridiculous. And it gives you even, in fact, what makes it even more impressive, it was over the middle. Coaches will kill you if you're late over the middle. They will stay. That is benchable for coaches, especially a guy like Ryan Day, who's a quarterback guy. In fact, I've had coaches in the past with the Packers. The coaches would come in and scream at Rodgers and Favre for going late over the middle, and that's just something coaches hate. And he threw it over the middle, which shows the confidence that coaches have in him, and shows the confidence Julian Sayin has in himself, which also lends itself back to the fact that the game plan to bring him along and build his confidence is working like a charm.
You guys are right. Hands down, that was the best play of the game. But I like to make Eric work. I like to make him work these graphics just a little bit harder. So I'm going to go with Carnell Tate's sideline catch, where he just got those toes down. And that was an NFL catch. He got both those toes down. So I'm going to go with that one.
Good one. Aaron asked a question here before we go to our defensive play of the game. I'm going to grab real fast because it's a great way to segue into what I want to talk about. Why isn't Hicks getting a lot of playing time? If you are a member of our Patreon,
we all know.
You would have learned earlier today the news as to why, and I know it's been answered in the chat already, so I won't say anything. But yes, we have an insider over there dropping news for all of you in our message boards for stuff like this. I'll just say this. When the insiders call this guy to get inside information, then you know you got the right guy. Appreciate him very, very much. You all know who I'm talking about. All right.
You're welcome, Eric.
Yeah. Well, you got that Maroon 5 inside information. That's what you got, Cory. Cory busted out some Maroon 5 music during the live watch yesterday and had me rolling, man. We were dying laughing. Where did this all start, JR, with Julian Sayin and Maroon 5? Does he look like, did he come out?
Somebody just tweeted it. And he's just like, he's put Maroon 5 on his highlights on Instagram. Like, somebody tweeted it. They showed it in the stadium. And now Julian Sayin is just putting up pictures of himself and highlights of his plays with Maroon 5 playing in the background. So he's playing into it. I love it.
Yeah. Shout out Buck Vader. Happy birthday today, Buck Vader. Happy birthday to you, my man. Maroon 5. He leaning into the moves like Jagger, huh? My goodness.
There you go.
I'm at a phone booth trying to call. Oh, my gosh. Cory busted us.
Please never do that again.
Oh, you had to be there. He just had to be there.
It wasn't just him. It was also Nickelback.
Yes, we also threw some Nickelback into that show to cleanse our
alright.
palates,
Oh
apparently.
my.
Defensive player hit of the game, JR.
Oh boy. All right. So defensive play of the game. I'm gonna go off base here a little bit, but I'm gonna go with that kick return. That punt return when
Yeah.
they threw it across the field. It was such a savvy play. Normally you see those when you kind of have two guys back for the punt return, but the way Lorenzo Styles faked it like he was going to run down the field with the guy trying to go tackle the returner, and he actually just reversed his course, not reversed this, took an off course to the other side of the field, got just behind him enough to be able to have the throw get to him. And man, if he was just a little bit quicker, I don't know if maybe he was just tired from running that entire way before, but it was a really, really fun play. I don't know if they'll ever call it against, a better team, but it was a fun play, and it's something that's on tape now that other teams are going to have to prepare for.
And I'm so glad JR brought that up. Many people are crying that we used it on Minnesota. And it's like, no, you want that on film. You want teams thinking about it. You want teams knowing we'll do it. Not only that, we're practicing different ways to get openings for Ennis in the future. He could even pump fake that next time, and
Yep.
anything. He could do a lot of different stuff off of it. I love that they did it. I don't care where they did it. I'm glad they're thinking, and the coaches are thinking of this stuff now too, which is nice. Anyways, my defense play of the game is a fourth and one stop. I think it was a 44.
Mhm.
Anytime you get it fourth and short. There's been times in the past, man, when other defensive coordinators, it's fourth and short. I'm like, but they're gonna get it. They're gonna do something and get it. And we just seem to be able to stop these things now, and pretty consistently. And it usually shifts the momentum and puts our offense. I think the next play was that touchdown to Carnell Tate. So
Yep.
Mhm. It
it's
was.
like,
Do you remember who
it's a
got the
huge
tackle
swing.
on that play?
Oh, it was. Let me see my notes
Now,
here.
let me tell you though, the freshman was in there on that play. Carter.
Zion Grady?
No, Carter was in there.
Jaquiz Carter.
Jaquez Carter.
He's getting more play, and he's going to be a future stud for us.
Did he make the
obviously.
tackle, or was he just?
I don't
in
know if
on
he
it?
actually got the tackle, but he was
I
in
think
the backfield.
Curry and Arvell Reese made the tackle. Is like who I
Okay,
think.
we'll give them the Buckeye leaf then.
Yeah, but that was to me. That's the. In a game where the defense dominated, I got to go with it. But I love JR. I got to say, I love your pick because it would have never been talked about if you didn't bring it up. So.
For me, I'm going to go with a hit, and it wasn't at a big or huge time in the game necessarily. But I just think this guy has caught so much crap this year that he deserves a little love. How about Lorenzo Styles Jr.'s big hit on the corner to break up the pass? I can't remember exactly what point in the game it was, but he came up there and he laid a hit that I guarantee you made his daddy proud. He lit that receiver up.
Styles family can play football.
Yeah. That was the one, I believe, where Sonny cleaned it up right after with him. They both were on the hit, and because Cory and I both said Dad's up in the stands going, "And my boys, my boys out there making plays." So yeah, that was pretty good. Podfather looks like the lead singer of a band, where JR will be bass, Chris will be drums, and Wildman would be the piano. Wait a minute, how can Chris be both piano? I think he meant Cory. Cory's on drums. Chris is on the piano? What kind of, are we a polka band? What are we here?
Sing me a song on the piano.
Or a Billy Joel cover band.
It's a Blues Traveler, maybe?
That means you got to do the harmonica, Eric.
Yeah, that's right. I got that little thing that goes around my neck and suck it in, suck it in.
Have you seen that guy recently though? He lost
He's lost a ton of weight. Yeah, that's right.
The
man.
novelty's gone now.
Oh, dude, I loved me some Blues Travelers, man. Dude, this was a ton of fun, man. Thank you so much for participating, everybody. Arvell Reese with a couple. He's the only one. No, let's see here. Lorenzo Styles Jr. got 2 this week. Good for him. We got Arvell Reese with 2 this week. And we've got Julian Sane with 3 this week. Max Clare with 2 this week. Carnell Tate adds 1. He's now got 7 on the season. No, he got 2 today, so he's got 8. Caden Curry still leads the race with 10. Jeremiah Smith with only 6 so far this year.
Give him time.
Okay.
I think a lot of that, Eric, comes down to the fact that he's just so good we expect it.
I feel like yeah, because he led the team last year in Buckeye leaves. It's almost like it's kind of anticlimactic if he doesn't hit like a huge number. It's kind of sad. JR, what's going on in your world, man? What's happening with you lately? Update us before we go to commercial break and you head off to your show tonight. Tell everybody what you're doing. What's going on, man?
Yeah, lots of Big Ten talk over on the Big Ten Huddle. Having a great time. Basketball is going to be starting up soon, and we'll see if this Buckeyes basketball team is anything this season. Jake Diebler certainly seems to think they will be, but we'll have to see what happens once the season actually starts. But yeah, on the football side, we're putting out videos every day, talking the entire Big Ten, not just one or two teams here and there, but talking every single Big Ten team. Me and Zach, sometimes just me on my own. I got my guy Jeff that's helping me out doing some videos here and there as well. So we're doing a new podcast called Around the Big Ten for the Big Ten Huddle. We bring on one guest from different Big Ten teams, people who cover the team, podcasters and stuff. And we just had Rajiv, the Darker Knight, and Kevin from Bruin Source on there, and it was a really, really good time. A lot of fun back and forth and doing a lot of good stuff over there. So at the very least, go give us a subscribe, and who knows, maybe there will be a video you see that you like. I'll be putting out my QB grades probably tonight. And just to give you a sneak peek, Julian Sayin is going to be A+. So if you want to hear some Julian Sayin praise, more of what you heard in this one, head on over to the Big Ten Huddle, subscribe, and you'll get that video tonight, tomorrow morning-ish.
You saw it, didn't you? RDCB, my man. Well played. Well played. Go give JR and the Big Ten Huddle some love, everybody. JR, it's been good catching up with you, man. I appreciate you jumping in with us, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Always appreciate it. Willing to do it anytime.
All right, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break here, 2-minute commercial break. We will be right back, everybody. We're going to dive into some more talk, and we're going to talk Jim Knowles first off the bat. Jim Knowles is coming up next.
Hey, Buckeye Nation. The OHIO podcast is thrilled to partner with Export Mouthguards, the innovators redefining protection in contact sports. Introducing the Ninja Pro Mouthguard, the strongest and most advanced mouthguard on the market. Engineered by dental experts, it's designed to deliver elite protection with a sleek, low-profile fit. Made with carbon fiber and multi-layer construction, it's impact tested to keep you safe from even the hardest hits. But that's not all. The Ninja Pro is 3D printed for 100% custom fit, offering unbeatable comfort and security for any athlete. From football to MMA, dominate your game with confidence while safeguarding your teeth and jaw. Getting started is easy. Use our home impression kit to create your custom fit and enjoy prepaid shipping. It's protection delivered right to your door. Plus, with a 1-year warranty and 100% satisfaction guarantee, and proudly made in the USA, the Ninja Pro is your ultimate defense on the field or in the ring. And here's the best part. When you visit exportguards.com, use promo code OHIO at checkout to get 20% off your purchase. That's right, 20% off elite protection made just for you. Protect your game, protect your future. Choose Export Ninja Pro Mouthguards, where innovation meets protection. Head to exportguards.com and use promo code OHIO today.
Bogsy and the Jets.
I will sing me some Billy Joel. I will do it.
I love Billy Joel, dude. Love me some Billy Joel, man.
That's Chris's new theme music right there.
I love it. I'll take it all day long.
Did you all get to see his last concert live from the what is it? The Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, what a fantastic concert, man! That guy's
It's amazing at his age he can still do it.
I've actually seen him in concert 3 times.
Have you really? Have you ever seen him in Madison? I know you lived in New York for a while. Did you get to see him in Madison?
I did not.
It was, from what people were saying, it was not a concert. It was like almost like a
homecoming
familiar,
party?
yeah, like a gathering of people who like, this is what we do every month. We get together and we all sing these songs. No one would sit down. I know at concerts no one ever sits down at concerts, but like
I do. I absolutely sit down at a concert.
Then
I
you
tell
don't
you-
belong there.
I'm good with that because concerts are fun, but man, I can't stand for 4 hours.
Yeah. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, you sit down for that concert because you got to take it all in,
Yeah.
man. You got to take it all in. Have you ever been to that one,
I
Chris?
have not, and Bobby and I have both wanted to go. Maybe we go.
You
this
got to
year.
go. You got to go. One time, dude. You got to go. It is, and you got to take the kids with you. Kids will love it. It is not necessarily a concert as much as it is just a show, man.
It's
It
an
is
experience.
yeah, it's a show. Pretty cool. All right, let's talk Jim Knowles, guys. 42 points on the road against 0-4 UCLA. I made 2 videos today about this. I made one for our channel. You all feel free to go watch that after the show tonight. I made another one for the College Huddle where I defended the Penn State fans who are fed up. And yeah, Doozy, we've been that's been mentioned a couple times. If you're a Patreon member, you've known that for a while now. Head on over to Patreon, our Patreon page. Actually, the link is down in the show notes below. For $5, you can be a part of what we do over there in our community that we're building. It is awesome. The message boards are fantastic. Friday night we had a party. Friday night, literally, Chris and I are doing a test, and people start joining in, and we ended up watching Delaware and Western Kentucky. Delaware, aka the Timu Michigan team, and we had a great time. It was a lot of fun. All right, let's get back to our topic here. Jim Knowles' defense there's always been a problem with his defense. It was dual threat quarterbacks. Now, I don't know schematically why that is. I know someone much smarter than me could probably break that down and tell you exactly why his defenses struggle with those guys. But it was almost like UCLA looked at that film and said, if we're going to beat these guys, Nico, it's all on you, brother. You're going to have to run the ball, and you're going to have to make them concerned about you running the ball, and therefore that'll open up the pass. And it worked to perfection. They had to hold on for the end, but I don't know, guys. Like we've gone up and now against 2 dual threat quarterbacks, both of which have done nothing against this defense. I don't know what the difference is that we're doing now versus what Jim Knowles didn't do, but that is a massive difference between last season and this season. Cory, I'll start with you. I want you to take what I just said and either tear it apart, build on it. Let's start the conversation there.
Well, I mean, we go back to Williams in Washington, and we layered spies on them because we're using Arvell Reese was mainly the main spy most of the time. I'm not saying Sonny never rotated at it, but we have that layer with Caleb Downs about 10 to 12 yards back. In fact, a couple times on the first drive, I'd argue that the linebacker didn't get back far enough. But anyways, two sets of eyes from 2 amazingly incredible athletes on him while they're also playing that robber position where they could sink into the seams and, be on tight ends and stuff like that. I didn't see the UCLA game fully, but I know that it was you Penn State fans said we didn't even try a spy until midway through the fourth quarter. I don't know why. I think it's not even so much his defensive scheme as that he's just so unwilling to change what he came in the game to do. We saw it with Ohio State, and there was oftentimes just like, why are we laying off every time? They're just taking that 8 yards every time. Why don't we change it up a little bit? Whereas Matt Patricia intentionally changes it up from series to series to series. And PJ Fleck commented on it. He says, couldn't get any bearing on what they were doing because it seemed like okay, this is their wait, no, that's not their bait. Okay, wait, it's like even after having the film on him for 4 weeks and game planning for him all week, they still couldn't pinpoint what he was going to do in the game. Patricia loves multiple looks. He loves hybrid. He loves changing things up. Jim Knowles likes to go in with a game plan and just try to execute the game plan. And he does not like changing things up to the point where Ryan Day had to yell at him twice in his tenure here at Ohio State to change things up. And I think it's just a difference in personality and willingness to adapt, whereas Patricia, coming from the NFL, shows that you have to be able to adapt week to week because you're facing a different beast every week. Whereas Knowles, typically, even with Oklahoma State and team in Ohio State especially, even Penn State, figures I usually, maybe not Oklahoma State so much, but I use more talent than the next guy. I just have to basically cause chaos and it'll disrupt them. They'll make mistakes, things like that. Or it's either one speed or the other speed, or he just sits back, keeps everything in front of him, and you can move the ball on him almost at will. He just won't necessarily let you score as much. So I just think it's more a matter of personality and willingness to adapt than anything.
Let me read this next comment, and then Chris, you jump in. Alex says Knowles will only adjust if he gets yelled at by Day to do so. Otherwise, he will keep doing what he wants, even if it fails continuously because of his ego. Possibly, I would say maybe. There's that is a very good possibility. I'm not intimate into those conversations, but it sure felt like
it could be ego. It could just be people. Some people are just not adept to changing on the fly. Some people don't have that personality. Well, I don't know if it's ego or not, but it's definitely something not triggering there.
And that's a great point, Cory, because I think a lot of that is, if you look at his defenses, when you get those rapid changes in alignment, it seems like his guys are out of position often. I think that's a big part of the problem. Is you leave defenders out of position because of the changes, and then the other thing is, the zone coverage behind the fronts, it leaves a lot of room because guys are playing back. It leaves a lot of room and open lanes for guys to just take off running. So, I mean, obviously that's an issue. And if you look at this, it wasn't an issue, obviously, the first couple games, but they weren't playing anybody. You got offensive coordinators who are smart enough to pick up on what's going on. You got athletes who are smart enough to take advantage of what's going on. And you said too, he does not like change. That led to a problem with him and I think Larry Johnson last year, obviously, and that led to a problem with him and Day last year, and ultimately I think it's going to lead to a problem with him and James Franklin, because you can bet he and Franklin are not best buddies right now. Not after the last 2 weeks. Not after Franklin's job is now on the line because of what's happened with these defensive collapses. To me, I think it's just Knowles' defense is set up in a way that if you're facing a traditional passer, they can wreak havoc. That defense can absolutely dominate and wreak havoc on traditional passers. But it's not set up to defend against somebody who can improvise and move and get out of the pocket and do something with his legs.
So there's been a lot of talk, and there's a lot of talk in the chat about that incident between Larry Johnson and Jim Knowles. Are we allowed to talk about that now?
We're always allowed to talk about things. Free country.
But we were it was like we were shunned last year. Like, you can't. You guys are just making up rumors, man. Remember that? We got blamed for making up rumors for that kind of stuff.
There was no rumor. That was fact.
Some of these beat writers make a lot of money making up rumors.
It's obvious now, hindsight being 2020, that Jim Knowles rubbed the entire defensive staff the wrong way, not just Larry. Look at how well Matty P is just seamlessly intertwined with this defensive staff, man. They are on another level this year, guys. And
I,
that was
I love all those videos of Matty P hugging all the players and everything like that. Man, Matty P is loved.
it's to me is no doubt that Jim Knowles and I will admit I kind of liked his gruff kind
Yeah.
of get off my lawn mentality. It kind of suited me a little bit, but it is obvious to me now it did not fit well with the culture at Ohio State. And we still somehow, because the culture was so strong, and I think the players were just so good, especially up front defensively and on the offensive side of the ball, were so good we overcame some of that because they were the culture, if you get my drift, right?
Well, Eric, and to go to what you're saying there, Knowles, we tried to prepare all the Penn State fans for this.
Yes, we did.
We really did. We told them there's going to be an issue, there's going to be a style clash, an attitude clash, but more importantly, the first year, your defense is not going to be great. You lost the key pieces of talent, the guys that really could have done special things in that Knowles defense,
Abdul
like
Carter.
an Abdul Carter. His defenses are average year one, better year two, get good year three, then he packs his bags and leaves. And we tried to tell them that. They didn't listen. I blame them as much as anything. I do. I blame them for their overreaction.
You know, I don't want to get personal here, but you look at the drama on Twitter, that's as far as I'll go with it. You know what I'm talking about, though. And you start thinking all the coaches that kind of hint at maybe not loving Jim Knowles and the way he was received at the championship celebration when he obviously wasn't there. But I mean, the way when the name got brought up, it was pretty cold. And it was on a cold day, but it got even colder. I just think that he's a bit of a drama queen that causes drama, even though he has that gruff exterior. I think he's a very, very, very intelligent guy who takes things very personal. And I think Patricia is coming off the perfect situation where he got humbled dramatically at the NFL level. And this is another chance, and he gets to have fun with football again, which is why his attitude is so much better. Because in Detroit, he was kind of like Jim Knowles in a lot of ways. But here, he's a different person. I liked seeing people, I get on Twitter and I don't want to hear Jim Knowles slander. I was like, look, I appreciate the fact that he definitely fixed our defense compared to what it was. There's no question about that. But that being said, in big games, a lot of times he would let us down. And it did take 2 to 3 years to really start to settle in. And it's like, Patricia's showing right now, why does it have to happen that way? Why does it? And Sonny Styles went on the podcast at Downs to Business, or whatever it is. And he said he had the green dot on his helmet. And it's really difficult to be the play caller on defense versus now, with Jim Knowles versus now. I mean, and you just see Denzel Burke on the podcast just talk about, I don't want to get into it, but all the players kind of want to skate around it, but they are kind of hinting at what we all kind of knew, that Jim, while very intelligent defensively, he's had a lot of success, can be a bit of a problem, and his system can be a problem.
Great question here. If James Franklin gets fired, and that's a big if, because that's a $56 million if, will Jim Knowles get a look? What's Jim's buyout? $4 million or something like that?
Somewhere in that range, yeah.
I mean, you're gonna, by the time you pay out all the buyouts on this coaching staff, Penn State might be upwards of closer to $70 million to make a change. I don't know that they can do that.
That's a lot of money. And then you got to pay a new staff, keep players. I mean, it's just, you're looking, Eric, you're not even talking about $70 million. You're probably talking upwards possibly of 120 after it's all said and done.
Yeah, because your team's going to get rated.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're going to have to go to the portal to replenish. And with the new portal, rules, okay, we're now going to get into another conversation.
Yeah.
The NCAA, I got to get a pen for this one. The NCAA.
Get the pencil. Where's your pencil at? Come on. There
The
you go.
NCAA didn't think this thing through at all. Because you guys want to know why you're seeing so many firings during the season? It's because of the new transfer portal window.
Yeah, the portal window. It's down to one and it's early.
It's one portal window and it is basically bowl season. And so if you are going to get a whole new coaching staff in and when you do that, you're going to lose players. You're going to lose players. You are then going to have to go to the portal to replenish said players, which means you're going to have to do it in December. You think about this from Penn State's perspective now. It is a major decision for them to do what they're doing. And you're right, Cory. That buyout, when you put into it the transfer portal money you're going to have to spend to actually have a roster for your new head coach, you might be closer to $150 million when it's all said and done. And I'm counting probably somewhere between 20 and 30 million just to have a roster for your new head coach. Otherwise, it's all freshmen and you're taking as many 2 and 3 stars as you can find who aren't already committed to a school.
And you're looking at a 2 to 4 year rebuild.
At least.
Yeah.
At least. So this new transfer portal window thing is terrible if you're going to fire a coach. The only way to do it seamlessly and get away with it is you have to have your coach in place. And it is a transition. It's the only way to do it without getting crushed by the transfer portal in December now. Because here's the other thing. Think about this. Well, what if your coach decides he wants to retire after the portal window? Those players that are currently on your roster,
they get a 30-day window at that point.
They get a window to leave, and you don't get one as a team because the portal's passed. And so now you have a makeshift roster for the next season.
Well, that's what basically happened to Marshall when the coach left, right?
But there was 2 portals still for Marshall at that time. But think of it now this way. Marshall might not have a seat. They might not have a team. They might have to do tryouts for walk-ons just to have a season in that case. If you're a G5 school and you do this happens to you. This is a terrible decision by the NCAA.
What a surprise. Exactly.
And it's one of the reasons why quietly coaches like Dan Lanning and Ryan Day have been like, guys, this is not good. You haven't thought about this. Thankfully, we've got good coaches in place. We're going to be fine. Okay, we're going to be fine. But I think what you're going to see is you're going to see some teams at the end of the year, if Penn State waits to the end of the year to fire James Franklin,
they're going to lose their roster.
Penn State is going to be terrible. I mean, we're talking like they were maybe worse than they were after.
They might be so bad they'd lose to UCLA.
Oh, come on, Chris. It'll never be that bad.
Anyways, I just wanted to throw that in there. We have not thought, talked about that yet, but that is in connection to this James Franklin. I don't think James Franklin's going anywhere, guys, unless he leaves on his own. Hey, I'm out. And if he does, he's leaving $56 million on the table. Do you really think he's going to leave?
No. Not as you don't leave, and I don't think he's getting fired. He's not going to have a good season this year. I bet he takes a pay cut, but I don't think he's going to get fired.
You know what, though? I would contend I could see a scenario where he leaves on his own. I don't know that he's got, if you look at how he's interacted with fans in the past, I don't know he's got the composure that a Ryan Day has to withstand the type of pressure that was put on Ryan Day and his family when things were going, south after that Michigan loss.
Oh, he absolutely does
I
not have the
I could
composure
see
Ryan Day.
him walking away at that point. And yes, he's going to leave 56 on the table. He'll catch on somewhere else, though, is the thing. He's still going to get a decent salary. It's not going to be 56 million, obviously, but he's still going to get a decent salary out of it.
He's made $135 million while he's been at Penn State too, so it isn't like he's going to be like, well, what do I do? How do I pay the bills?
Yeah, I hear you, Tyler. Yeah, I know that there's also a renovation that's to be, but I'm telling you, go read the message boards, go read the Facebook pages from Penn State fans. They are in the worst place I've seen a fan base in a long, long time.
It's funny. I think Jeremiah on Twitter posted the stats that last year's defense at this point for Penn State was number 8 in the country. Now they're number 30. That's for 3 whatever million that Knowles is getting. And Ryan Day was 100% right to say, I'm not going to pay you the full 3, but I'll give you incentives to get to 3 if we get there. So Ryan Day 100% played that right.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Well, and think about this. Last year for Ohio State, Jim Knowles, his defense, and I know I'm jumping back to Knowles from Franklin, but
that's fine.
His defense.
It's all in one topic, really.
It's all one big mess. It's all one big giant PJ Fleck bubblegum ball.
His defense was as much a reason that this team won a title last year as anything. You can't say that with Penn State's defense this year. They are not an impact defense. They are not going to win you a game. Where last year Ohio State had the defense go out at times and win a game.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, they've regressed.
And that's what they thought they were getting. And we knew that wasn't what they were getting. And they did it anyhow. I mean,
I remember arguing with Penn State fans. I said, guys, your defense wasn't the problem.
Mm-hmm.
No. They had a good defense last year.
Well, Tom Allen left on his own. He went to Clemson to be Clemson to be closer to his family. So they had to replace him no matter what. And it was, to me, that was actually a good bounce back for James to get Jim Knowles to replace him. But somehow they've regressed under Jim Knowles. I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect them to regress under Jim Knowles. I thought they'd be really good. I still think that as the season goes, it's still going to be really good. But that UCLA game is like, wow, that's a wake-up call.
We talk about how does Jim Knowles feel as the defensive coordinator at Penn State. Man, Tom Allen, you think he's second-guessing that move to Clemson?
Yeah, I mean, he might be, but I think it was all family-related. He really
but that was Knowles' excuse as well.
Well, true, but I mean, Allen could have easily stayed at Penn State, I think, or I don't know. Maybe they were talking with Jim Knowles. He said, "Hey, Tom, we'd really like to get the Pennsylvania guy," and he said, "Fine, I'll go to Clemson." I don't know how it transpired.
Either way, it sucked for both of them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right, let's transition this conversation to Nick Quint here. Great timing, Nick. This is something Cory and I were talking about yesterday a little bit. Franklin looked like Day did after the TTUN loss last year. He just stood there and stared blankly at nothing. Cory and I had this conversation a little bit yesterday too. Let's go back to November 30th.
Do we have to?
Right? It's a painful thought still. I remember being so angry at Ryan Day for just standing there with this. What just happened? Look, while his team is out there in the 50-yard line, part of his team fighting for that our honor we will defend. We'll fight till the end. We're gonna honor that block O. And we've got Sonny Styles getting pepper sprayed, and you've got, I think it was Iggy tearing the flag away with Jack and just being like, no, this ain't gonna happen here. And Ryan Day just standing there like, and that look on his face is what made me devastated, because at that moment, that was when I flipped the switch to where Chris was at.
I had no doubts. I
And
was confident.
and from that moment on, from that moment, he has won 9 straight football games. 5 of those 9 games have been against top 10 teams in the AP poll, if I'm not mistaken. And the chat's even been talking about it tonight. Ryan Day's a different human being. Let's start the conversation here, Cory. From that moment on, what happened to this guy who, by the way, just passed Newt Rockne for the best winning percentage in the history of FBS football?
You know, I talked to my friend, you guys know him, Kyle Lamb, today about Ryan Day. And we both said the same thing. I said, listening to his press conference, first of all, I got to quote the line. It was so amazing, that Navy SEAL line. If you think you've got it, you're get it. I love this Ryan Day. I saw a tweet from somebody, I don't know who his name is. He said, man, he lost to Michigan and they created a demon. I mean, it's just like Ryan Day is a different person. And I don't think he was dumbfounded like I thought he was on the field. I think he was immediately thinking, this has to change. We're doing something very wrong. This has to change. And then, of course, you add that in with that players meeting. And I think something has just clicked with Ryan Day to where you can constantly improve. You can constantly not be satisfied, but you got to walk a fine line between trying to improve and being way too uptight. For the Michigan games, he was clearly way too uptight. For some of these big games, he was clearly way too uptight. And it's almost like he's coaching in the same style, but with a different swagger about him. He still wants to do ball control. He still wants to control the clock, and he still wants to slow the game down. Control the clock and slow the game down for the other team. But last year he did it just to like, I got to get out by the skin of my teeth of it. And then this year he's more like, no, I'm comfortable playing like this. It's almost like it wasn't his identity last year. Now it's his identity as to who he is. He's completely altered how he thinks about how he sees the football game. Because you look at him back 4 or 5 years ago, he's a different cat. I'm going to outscore you. Like the whole infamous comment, I'll hang 100 on you. I mean, he was so confident in his ability to scheme up a pass game that would just put up points on anybody. And for a minute, he was right. But obviously, the game of football catches up with you. It always comes back down to the line of scrimmage and the run game and defensive play. And he's completely a different coach. I think he's really absorbed his role as a CEO. He's happier there now, instead of just having to be the guy who has to have his hand literally in everything. I think he's happily comfortable with the coaching staff he has and trusting them. It's showing on his face. He looks in good shape. He's lost weight. I mean, it's just like, I think finally he just said, like he said to Nina, I got to fight my way out of this. And losing that Michigan game, realizing a change had to be made, making the change within 3 weeks to go on that run in the playoffs, knowing that they could do that and win the Natty, has got him in a comfort zone where I actually think he's becoming the next Nick Saban.
Chris.
And I agree with everything Cory just said. There is a comfort level with him now. There's a confidence with him now. I think that was a game where his career, and he's a smart guy, and he realized this, and whether he talked to Jim Tressel at this point, whether he talked to Nick Saban at this point, whether he talked to Chip Kelly at this point, or Urban Meyer, they all probably told him the same thing. Your career is at a crossroads.
Yeah.
You decide where this goes from here. And he leaned into it. And he became his own coach. That's the big thing. I think for a long time, Ryan Day was trying to coach how people wanted him to coach, or how people thought he should coach, or he tried to emulate Urban, or he tried to emulate Chip, instead of just being Ryan Day. And I think that after that Michigan game, he sat down and you know there's the term "come to Jesus" speech. Well, he had that "come to Jesus" speech with himself, and he realized what had to be done. But there's a difference here, Eric. I don't see James Franklin as a Ryan Day type of person. You look at him, he's a guy who gets in fights with the fans. He's a guy who's going to see this stuff on Twitter and Facebook and probably want to, if not respond to it. He's more of a hothead. He's not Ryan Day. So as I look at this, you know, I see a coach that you guys said it earlier. You know when we were talking before he came on, is this a more dangerous team now, or is it, or not?
Talking about Penn State.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, it made Ohio State a more dangerous team. I don't think this makes Penn State a more dangerous team, because as I look at this, they suffered one heartbreaking loss and one humiliating loss.
Mm-hmm.
Back to back. And you look at this schedule they've got with Iowa and Ohio State the next 2 weeks. You know, historically under James Franklin, Penn State does not rebound well from tough stretches in their schedule to deliver huge wins against top-ranked opponents. I think there's a desperation that has set in. I think there is a depression really that has kind of set in with the players and the coaches. And I just don't think Penn State is the kind of team that can do what Ohio State did last year. I think this is a team on the ropes. And, you know, right now, ESPN is only giving them a 23% chance of making the playoff.
How much? What's their percentage chance?
23%.
It's got to be lower than that, because in my opinion, Penn State literally they have no room. They have no room for error.
They have zero room for error, and if you look at it, they don't have the easiest schedule going forward. You know, like I said, you've got Ohio State, you have Iowa. I'm actually just pulling it up here because I want to see the full schedule.
Well, they play Iowa, Ohio State, Indiana back to back to back. They go to Kinnick, they go to Columbus, and then they host the Hoosiers. They are not if they come out of those 3 games with 3 wins,
they're in.
Then they're probably going to. Well, they
although
still
you
can't
look
lose
at
it.
you look at the end of the schedule too, Eric. I mean, it doesn't get easy, truly easy for them at all. They still have to play a feisty Michigan State team at East Lansing. They get to host Nebraska, who, depending on what Nebraska team you get, could give you hell. And then you close out with Rutgers at Rutgers. I mean,
which might be playing for a playoff berth, or not playoff, but a bowl game at that point. They might be 5 and 6.
I mean, this is the Penn State team that's up against the wall.
Yes, but there is a belief out there, and Cory pointed it out, that they're a wounded dog, and wounded dogs can be dangerous if you get too close. So, but the thing about a wounded dog is if you put it down quick, then, you know, if Ohio State jumps out on them, I think they quit.
Yeah. Yeah, this is wow.
All right, Chris, I got to ask you a question. You ready, Cory?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
All right. Chris, the Wildman University has a football team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm your number one donor. And I say to you, look, Mr. Wildman University, you have to hire one of these 2 guys. James Franklin or Marcus Freeman. Who are you hiring and why?
Well, I'm shutting down the football program.
You can't. You got to hire one. You have to hire one, Chris. Come on. Just say it.
James Franklin.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Because as much as he sucks, at least he's loyal to his program.
Oh my gosh, it's so bad. Your hate has blinded you. Those glasses are covering major cataracts, dude. There is no way you would choose James Franklin over.
I will
Come
never
on.
forgive Marcus Freeman until he comes out and gives a heartfelt, legitimate apology to Ohio State for how he behaved. I will never forgive Marcus Freeman.
Phil says, come on, Chris, say Marcus. Ryan Day's championship beard. It's got to be Freeman. Matt says Marcus Freeman. Mika says Freeman for sure. Like, literally, the chat, everybody in the chat knows the right answer.
You guys may forgive a traitor. I do not.
I didn't say you had to forgive him. You literally just told your fan base we're never going to win at Wildman University. We're never going to win a national championship.
I would rather take the losses than hire Marcus Freeman.
To Troy, somewhere the Emperor saying, good. Let your hatred control you. Oh my gosh. Oh, Phil.
Do you want to know? No, I couldn't go that far. There's only one person I would hire Marcus Freeman before. And it's barely.
Harbaugh?
That's it.
Wow.
Barely.
That's a lot. Now, Andre,
and if I had a choice between the three, I would close down the program.
Andre says, Eric, so are you saying that you want to hire a traitor for a head coach? Ooh, Andre turning it around on me. He's not a traitor.
He's absolutely a traitor.
He was a young coach leaning into his first head coaching job, trying to win the fan base is what he was doing.
Be man enough to come out and say that then.
He can't, because if he comes out and says that, then he's going to lose his own fan base at that point. The best thing he can do is just ignore it and take those L's every time he plays us. Cory agreed.
He's going to take an L every time he plays us. I agree. Yeah.
Oh, man. I had to do it, Chris. I had to do it. What was the other one, Cory, question we came up with, Cory, for Chris?
I don't remember. All I know is I would take Freeman over Luke Fickell right now for sure.
Absolutely not.
I knew he'd say no to that.
Oh, my goodness. Speaking of Luke Fickell, I came up with a scenario for our buddy Luke. Hear me out on this one.
Defensive analyst?
Well, I think that's always going to be there for him if he wants it. If he wants to come back to Columbus and work on this coaching staff in some capacity, that's always going to be available to him, in my opinion. It should be anyways. It should be. And Ryan Day has shown the ability to say, if there's a smart man out there who I can use as an analyst and possible coach down the road, then obviously we're going to bring that guy in. So I think that was a possibility. But no. Did you know Luke Fickell is the all-time winningest coach at Cincinnati?
Sounds right.
Cincinnati right now is on a heater, boys and girls. The coach that coaches for Cincinnati, he's in year number 3, came from Louisville, where he was I think he ended up being 26 and 24 in 4 or 5 seasons at Louisville while he was with the Cardinals. Wasn't great, wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. But before that, he was the guy who put Appalachian State on the map.
Yeah.
And he brought them from an FCS school to an FBS school that won, and he won 3 consecutive Sun Belt championships at App State before he left there for the Louisville job. He is quietly getting some recognition for a bigger job.
Wisconsin?
Would you like to trade? Maybe. There's a chance Luke Fickell, if he were to get axed.
There's no if.
It's happening in your mind?
Oh, I think it's already done. I wouldn't be surprised we get announced tomorrow.
Really? Okay.
The way he quit in that Michigan game. Oh my gosh, he's flat out done, and I think he's mentally just done.
Okay. Let's say he's available. Cincinnati coach leaves before the bowl game for a bigger job somewhere in the SEC, maybe Florida, something like that. Maybe somewhere else in the Big 12 at a better program. Luke Fickell back to Cincinnati.
Yeah, why not?
I can see it.
He had tremendous success. Took him all the way to the CFP.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
It doesn't impact Ohio State, so I don't know.
It does a little bit. It actually impacts the Big Ten mostly, because what he does is he recruits the heck out of Ohio's 3-star kids.
I agree with that.
A lot of those kids end up at the Purdues, the Indianas, the Michigan States.
And it hurts the mid-tier SEC a little bit too, like the Kentuckys of the world. So,
yes. Yeah. I don't hate it for him. I'd rather see him here.
Or him be a Buckeye defensive line coach that comes in after Larry Johnson retires.
Ooh, I didn't think about D-line coach, because he was a linebacker coach and then defensive coordinator, but he was a defensive lineman at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And they all switch around positions. I mean, Urban Meyer's a wide receiver coach, for crying out loud.
I love it. I love it, Cory. LJ's replacement. Bring him back, be an analysis. And he can recruit. We all know he can recruit.
Yep. He'd have no problem getting Ohio kids, and he'd find the really, really diamond in the rough kids, too. So
I like that, Cory. Well done.
By the way, Andre, yes, I would hire Vrabel.
Oh, Vrabel would actually probably be a really good head coach. Yeah.
Vrabel does not want to be a college coach.
No, he doesn't.
He made that perfectly clear multiple times.
He even considered the Raiders over the Buckeyes. So
yeah.
And I'm sorry,
So
you go to the
Chip
Raiders.
Kelly.
Yes, he did. Yes,
well, yeah, but Chip got $6 million to do it. I don't think he'd have left otherwise.
Any last thoughts, Cory, Chris, before we get out of here for the evening? Anything else you want to talk about?
I you know what? Starting to think looking forward to this game coming up this week. I don't know why, but I'm getting confident it might end up being ugly in Ohio State's favor.
I'll tell you, guys, this was the one I predicted Ohio State was going to be 10-2. And
I had them at 11-1, and this was my loss.
And I predicted a Texas loss, and I predicted, boy, was I wrong about Texas. And I predicted an Illinois loss.
You were listening to Paul Feinbaum.
And I'll be honest, Eric, I'm swinging more towards Cory the more I watch his defense. But I will say this. This might be the best offensive team we've played this season.
It is. And I think they're going to break that double-digit marker on us for the first time this season. But I think we end up winning by 17-21.
If Ohio State keeps this Illinois team under double digits, everybody just needs to shut the hell up. It's that simple.
I agree. If they keep this Illinois team under double digits, I mean, I don't even know what to say at that point, because Illinois's got a solid offense, a better pass game. The run game is not spectacular this year, but I'll tell you, I could see them going 13-14 on us, but I definitely see us getting 38, and their defense is only average this year.
Well, we're going to learn a lot about Illinois this week. We're going to dive into that game. Ryan from the Keeping It Orange and Blue podcast is going to join me tomorrow night for a preview after the call-in show tomorrow night. So we're going to learn.
Why are you having a Gators guy on it? No, I'm kidding.
True.
Can I just throw in one more thing before we close out tonight, Eric?
Sure.
Freeman's trash.
Boy, man, just because Phil's here doesn't mean you got to be all rude like that, Chris.
Freeman is trash.
He's not trash. You know what, Chris? I think your view on Freeman is trash.
Ooh.
Well, you're always entitled to be wrong, Eric.
You know how many points Notre Dame's lost by this season in their 2 losses?
Do I
Less
care?
than 6, I think, right?
It's 4.
Actually, that's 4.
4 points. To
I
two
care.
teams who are ranked in the top, what are they now? 8? Texas A&M in the
Miami's
top 8.
3.
Miami's 3. What's A&M?
They're
8?
top 10, yeah. I mean,
At
No
least,
team with
right?
2 losses should be in the top 25. I'm sorry.
What if Ohio State would have lost to an undefeated Texas by 1 point and
They weren't
lo-
undefeated Texas. They were number 1 Texas.
Right, but I'm just saying, let's say Texas goes on and they're undefeated right now. Are you still like, yeah, we don't need to be in the top 10?
That's 1 loss.
Yeah, but and another one who you pick it. Illinois this week.
Grambling.
That if you have 2 losses, you deserve to be right where you are. Now, I will say this, and that is me saying, how do I put this? Without a quality win. If you are 2-loss team with no quality wins, you don't belong in the top 25. If Penn State would come out next week, beat Iowa, come in, beat Ohio State, 2 losses, they belong in the top 25. They got a couple quality wins. Notre Dame has 0 quality wins.
What team with your eyeballs who you've watched, what team do you think gives Ohio State the best game right now? Neutral field.
Miami.
Yeah.
Second best team.
Oregon.
Third best team.
Bama.
Notre Dame. No.
I think it's Notre Dame.
I
I don't
don't.
think so.
I do.
I do like CJ Carr, though. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're starting to figure some things out defensively finally. And that's a dangerous offense.
But you're right, but I think Chris has got a point. Their defense has figured it out against teams that aren't like extremely potent offensively.
Interesting conversation. I tried, Phil. I'm trying. We got a lot of Notre Dame people who come in here, and Chris just runs them off. We got Tyler who runs off the Michigan people. We got Chris running off the Notre Dame people.
All right, I got to pick a team to run off. Penn State. That's
Here's
my
the thing. And
Who
Eric,
you picked the
I've
win?
said this, I have said this before. I don't hate Notre Dame. I don't. I actually used to watch a lot of Notre Dame football. I just cannot stand Marcus Freeman. And as long as he is the head coach, I will never give them anything.
Is Miami overrated?
Not in today's college football, I don't
They
think.
beat 3 consecutive ranked opponents.
And the Miami's line of scrimmage is tough.
Yeah.
And they got an experienced quarterback. I'm not saying Beck is some kind of superstar, but he's an experienced quarterback who's been around the block. He's not some freshman, so I think Miami is absolutely
Sorry, Cory. Look
boy.
who just showed up.
He's been here a couple times.
Oh.
Although I'm starting to think he might be possessed, and we need to do an exorcism because he's talking in the plural here. You can't run us off. He's like, we are Legion.
Well, to be honest with you, the James Frank would make me schizophrenic too. So
You know who can run him off? Nico,
UCLA.
I'm gonna leave you.
Nico?
Nico, I'm gonna leave you
Nico did leave him.
in the dust.
Exactly.
Good show tonight, everybody. We lost about 20 people on the end of that conversation. They're like deuces. Make sure if you're hanging around and you hadn't already, please hit that thumbs up button. Tomorrow night, the call-in show's at 8 o'clock. I've got a video running for you tomorrow morning. It'll be a brand new video. It's a good, bad, and ugly from the Minnesota game for everybody. So check that out tomorrow. And like I said, call-in show at 8 o'clock. And make sure, if you haven't already, go check out the Patreon channel. Link is below in the comment section, in the show notes section. Please go over, consider joining. We had an amazing launch. I don't think the launch could have gone any better than it did. Thank you to, I think, 41 people signed up this weekend. A lot of them are, about half of them are paying members. The other half are the free. Well, and then we'll try our best to try to convince you that the content we are going to provide for you not only in video format, not only in live watches, but also in the message boards is worth your contribution to help us continue to grow our community. It is worth it. People are hanging out there chatting almost all day long. As news comes up, as our insider gets information, he puts it out there for you to read, to digest before anybody else does. So it's you all want that insider information, we got them for you, man. So come and be a part of our community. Come and be a part of Patreon. Any last thoughts, guys? I know I asked you that probably about 30 minutes ago.
And just so everybody knows, that last one came from me. I don't want Eric getting blamed for that one.
All right. Be kind to one another, Chris. I owe everybody's OH in Carmen, Ohio with all your heart. You all know what to do till next time. OH!
Oh.
I-O.
Go Bucks.